Hello, it's Tholen here. Welcome to my guide for getting started as a summoner in the new Path of Exile Ascendency expansion. The expansion ushers in the new Perandus League, which can wreak havoc on your minions during the early stages of the game, and result in painful situations like this.
Whoa! Oh, man!
Or this. And can make you feel like this. Did I say I hated those Perandus chests? Before you get started, it is always a good idea to decide which class you are going to play and have at least a rough idea of how you will build your character on the skill tree. The obvious choice for a summoner is a witch, as she is the closest to the more powerful minion nodes. Take the energy shield path from the witch's starting node and make your way through Lord of the Dead, Cruel Preparation, then straight to Death Attunement. You want to get the Minion Life and Life Regeneration node and Minion Damage and Life Leech node as quickly as possible, as they greatly enhance your zombie survivability. From there, head to Puppet Master and Herd of the Flock, which boosts your zombie survivability again. This should be enough to get you going. To get your summoner started, you'll want to pick Ray Zombie, Firetrap, and Freezing Pulse in Lionized Watch at level 1 after you have killed Hillock. You will also want to check Nessa for any wands with 3 linked sockets. You may not find one at the very start, but you should be able to get at least one wand with 2 linked blue sockets. Equip the second wand, as it boosts the damage of your Firetrap and Freezing Pulse. From levels 1 to 4, you'll be using Firetrap and Freezing Pulse almost exclusively. Feel free to raise zombies when appropriate, but just don't expect them to survive. Firetrap is great for killing Perandus mobs, as they tend to clump around the chest, which maximizes Firetrap's burning effect. As soon as you enter the submerged passage, you can come back to town to get Summon Raging Spirit. While it won't replace Firetrap and Freezing Pulse, it is quite useful even at level 4 for killing some tougher mobs or bosses like the Dweller of the Deep in the Flooded Depths. Make your way through Rayclast until you get to the lower prison. Take the waypoint near the entrance back to town and talk to Nessa. She will have a quest reward for you. Choose the Minion Damage gem. You will also want to buy Melee Splash from her while you are here. Link the Minion Damage gem with your Raging Spirits. You should have a link for it by now. If you are also lucky enough to get a third red link and you have enough strength, you can also link Melee Splash with your Raging Spirits. Nessa may have a heavy belt or an amber amulet for sale if you don't have the strength. If you can't equip Melee Splash at this stage, don't worry. Not having Melee Splash for the Brutus fight won't hurt, but you will want to link it sooner than later, as it will make your leveling process as a summoner a breeze. With Brutus taken care of, head back to town for your reward. You will want to get Flame Dash and Summon Skeletons. Summon Skeletons is optional, but I believe it is somewhat of an underrated minion gem. It has shortcomings of a slow casting speed and low DPS, but you can summon them at will at the location of your choosing, which has its benefits. If you haven't already, you will want to get your Melee Splash gem linked with your Summon Raging Spirit. Once you do, you can start using it for clearing packs of mobs instead of relying as much on Firetrap and Freezing Pulse. Keep pushing through the act and you will eventually come to the Cavern of Anger. Head back to town so you can prepare for your fight with Merveil. Grab the Flesh Offering gem from Nessa. At this point, you can pretty much wean yourself off of Freezing Pulse. Once you can equip Flesh Offering, get rid of Freezing Pulse, as your minions will now be able to carry much more of the load. You'll need to be level 12 to equip it, which you may or not be when you reach Merveil. You can do the fight either way, just make sure you bring some cold resistances. This completes the first act. As you progress your way through Act 2, you will come across the Weaver in the Weaver's Chambers. Use a combination of zombies, skeletons, Firetrap, and Raging Spirits to take her down. She will drop Maligaro's Spike. Take it back to town and talk to Silk. Take Minion Speed as your reward. You won't be using Minion Speed in endgame, but for leveling it works well with all of your minions. If you have the sockets and the links for it, be sure to use it. Your first priority would be Summon Raging Spirit, then Zombies, and then your Skeletons. Your next key reward comes from Fidelitas the Morning, found in the Chamber of Sins. Take him out. Before you leave the area, make sure you click on the strange device and take the Baleful Gem. Return to town and talk to Groost. Take Desecrate as your reward. Once you can equip Desecrate, feel free to get rid of Firetrap. You can now rely completely on your minions. Desecrate enables you to use Flesh Offering or resummon your zombies at any time. This is convenient since you'll be putting points into the Death Attunement skill wheel at about this time, resulting in your zombies being a lot tankier. They won't be tanky enough to survive a pack of Perandus mobs yet, but they can handle the Act's final boss, the Val Oversoul, with no trouble. As you make your way through Act 3, you will enter the crematorium, where you will encounter Piety for the first time. After she goes down, make sure you click on Tolman's remains and pick up his bracelet. Head back to town and talk to Maramoa. There are 2 rewards here that you want: Convocation and Purity of Elements. Pick one and buy the other from Clarissa. Convocation will summon your minions to you and provide them with a small amount of health regeneration. Purity of Elements will give all of your minions some much needed resistances. Both of these skills will help keep your zombies alive. Your final key reward in Act 3 comes from killing General Gravitius in the Ebony Barracks. Once he is down, come back to town and talk to Maramoa again, and she will reward you with Ray Spectre. Equip it when you can and link it with Minion Damage and Minion Speed. Your Spectres will be in the same boat as your zombies in the sense that at this stage they can die from time to time. As such, don't link Ray Spectre with gems with specific mobs in mind. Keep it linked with the generic minion support gems and raise various mobs that you find useful throughout your travels through Rayclast. In the Dried Lake of Act 4, you will come across a Vole. Kill him and take Deshret's banner. Head back to town and talk to Oyun for your reward. Take the Chaos Golem for the extra survivability for yourself. At this point, if you have 4 links, head back to Act 2 and talk to Yina. Buy the Minion Life gem from her and link it with your zombies. Your zombies should now be linked with Minion Life, Minion Damage, and Minion Speed. If you don't have 4 links, replace Minion Speed with Minion Life. You may also want to consider getting a second Minion Life gem and linking it with your Spectres. This gives both your zombies and Spectres a significant boost in survivability, which allows you to start taking on some fairly significant packs of Perandus mobs with few to no losses.
When I'm ready and not ready.
It's raining coins! Oh. Keep pushing through the act. Eventually, you will run into Diala in the Crystal Mines. She will be able to open a door, allowing you to enter the belly of the beast. Enter, but as soon as you do, your quest will update, and you will want to head back to town for a reward. Talk to Diala in town, and she will reward you with Spell Echo. Replace the Minion Speed gem you currently have linked to Raging Spirits, and replace it with Spell Echo. This will double the number of spirits you are able to summon, and increases the speed at which you can cast the spell. Next, you will want to get the Fortify support gem and link it with your zombies. Feel free to get it earlier, but you may not be able to get the correct socket colors and or links to use it until this point. You definitely want to have it by the time you get to Cruel difficulty. Witches don't get it as a quest reward, nor can a witch buy it from a vendor, so you'll have to use PoE.trade for this one and buy it from another player. With the new improvements to trading, this shouldn't be difficult. Once you have it, swap out Minion Speed with Fortify. Your zombies should now be able to tank some pretty significant Perandus mobs. Finish up Act 4. Before you proceed to Cruel difficulty, make sure you raise Stygian Revenants as your Spectre. They are quite powerful and will help you to blast through Cruel. Oddly enough, you will find making your way through Cruel to be a lot easier than on normal. Once you reach Act 2 of Cruel and kill the Weaver, talk to Silk. This time, Silk will have a different list of gems as a reward. The one you want is Minion and Totem Elemental Resistance. This gem is the icing on the cake. Link it with your zombies by swapping out Minion Damage. While this decreases their damage output, it sets you up to take down any group of Perandus mobs, or anything else for that matter that the game can throw at you. With our zombies armed to the teeth, I'll conclude this guide with 2 very nasty Perandus mob fights. Notice how the zombies take very little damage. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you got something out of it.